Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to the European Esports Championship. Happy New Year to everyone. It's a brand new year. Sadly, not brand new drivers, though. 2024 will bring a very, very good season, I'm sure, and hopefully the first of three very, very good races to come up here tonight at the Temple of Speed in Monza. My name is James Head. I'm going to be told.
Our issues with the cameras are still
Hang on.
being a little bit issueless.
Yeah, there's a bit of an issue because my OBS has just decided to reconnect. The joys of having both of our cameras on, I think, at the same time. But hopefully it's all back. Hopefully if it's fine, let me know if it's not, and we'll obviously get things sorted out as we go along. It might just be the case where we just run one camera as we go forward through tonight. But what we can remind you of, though, and get away from our very gorgeous faces here in 2024, is, of course, what happened before we came live the last 2 weeks, in fact, of course, in the Netherlands, and it was Tycho Hardy that took the win. We were due to see him here tonight, not actually appearing tonight. He's been replaced by Jerry Van Bussel, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Primoz Roglic there in second, and Gilles, my favourite Frenchman, there in third. What did that do to the championship standings? Well, Team Netherlands lead on 80 points. They seem to have it between themselves right now. But there are 6 teams pretty much separated by 31 points. So close in terms of the point system. Slovenia in second on 59, then Italy third on 55, Romania fourth on 51, France fifth and Norway sixth on 49. So 10 points separating second to sixth right now. Then a bit of a gap to Germany in seventh on 31, England 8th on 22, Finland 9th on 12, and Austria in 10th on 5 points. And Mike, coming into tonight, Tycho Hardy, of course, taking that win. They called him Joe Van Bussel in commentary 2 weeks ago, but he did win nonetheless. And obviously, Tycho not here. Slovenia, Italy, Romania, all going to be chomping at the bit to try and find out a weakness out of Team Netherlands.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, it was a fantastic result for the Netherlands last time out. Of course, that last lap overtake by Tycho Hardy to give Team Netherlands a win at their home Grand Prix. And there is another team's home Grand Prix here tonight. Obviously, Team Italy of Matteo and Braddox. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they can repeat the feat of what the Netherlands did last time out.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be really interesting. Obviously, Italy's had a change up in their lineup as well. I know Nicholas Longe was rumoured. Thomas Ronhaar was even rumoured for Team Netherlands last week. He was put in the initial lineup. Apparently, he's doing something called PSGL PCF1. Not sure if you've ever heard of that, but we've got a very good lineup nonetheless coming into tonight. Now, there has been a couple of changes. In fact, there's been so many changes, this graphic is actually completely outdated. So give me a second, I will try.
Daniel Berardi in for Italy. Obviously, Jerry Van Bussel in for Netherlands. And Jack Harrington in for Harry in Team England, I believe.
Thank God we've got you here, Mike, because that has saved me about 5 minutes worth of trooping through just to try and get the new grid up. We've got 19 drivers currently in the lobby. I think we're waiting on one more driver, and I'm just trying to see who that might be. But I will come back to that in a second. But yeah, Daniel Kelton and Havmik in for Team Norway. Great to see Daniel Kelton back after his exploits in PSGL E-Series. Louis Valentine making his PC debut here tonight for Outplayed Racing, as well as for Team France alongside Enzo Suma. Enzo, of course, former G-League driver. Very, very capable man. I believe he was former Veloce Academy as well, or current Veloce Academy as well. Kean Goydendorp and Mr. Jerry Van Bussel are in for Team Netherlands. Jerry taking over from Tycho. Matteo and Branduk's in for Team Italy. Harry Nunn's not sadly racing, unfortunately. He might use his cheat codes potentially for Team England, but Harry is not here. Kieran Humphries is, though, and he, of course, is alongside Jack Harrington, the NLR PC engineer and indeed now turned driver for tonight. Primoz Roglic and Jone Dovzan, same lineup for Team Slovenia. Then Julian Klaffenbach, that's a bit of a mouthful to say. Fabian Marksteiner alongside him, of course, the Rising Lions man. JSD and Mark Schluter there in Germany. We saw Mark, of course, in the Netherlands 2 weeks ago. Sapala and Thomas Laminin are very much a big name to watch out for. I think the Finn, and Sasha Andre and Bogdan Moldovan in for Team Romania. And looking at that grid, it is stacked and packed. We've got the likes of Daniel Kelton in, we've got the likes of Kean Goydendorp in, we've got the likes of Thomas Laminin, Primoz Roglic, some big names there. One big name, though, that I want to look and a real focus on is Louis Valentin. He is there on PC for the first time. How are we going to see him perform tonight? Because his exploits in Legacy Division, remember, he won in Monaco by 20 seconds. So if that Louis Valentin rocks up, these guys may be in trouble.
Yeah, and honestly, it could be a very good race for Louis Valentin if he has managed to put in enough hours on the PC platform. Of course, making that switch to PC, it can be a little bit of a learning curve. But yeah, I mean, Team France right now currently 5th in the standings. Big opportunity to climb up the order a bit as well, where it's so compact, only 10 points separating them and second place Slovenia.
Yeah, very, very close indeed. What we are waiting on, by the way, is Yone Dovzan. We are waiting for him because apparently his PC has crashed. Not the best thing you want to start off your new year with, especially with your game crashing and his whole PC crashing. Hopefully, though, he'll be back very soon. We're going to get going at 10 past. We're going to give him until 10 past, so we're going to give him 5 minutes or so. Hopefully get everything booted back up. Hopefully it's not on the blue screen of death. And hopefully we'll have Yone Dovzan, of course, racing alongside Primoz Muklavcic. Otherwise, Primoz is going to try and get an extra cookie, quite literally, from his past in League of Europe. And Primoz will have to get those extra cookies, maybe getting some extra weight on his shoulders if Yone does not turn up. But a phenomenal lineup, though, Mike. And reminder of the standings, of course, coming into tonight. Team Netherlands leading the way. 21 points, 21.3 of Team Slovenia is having a few issues. So give me a second. The absolute joys of trying to run this stream. There we are.
It might be a case of weather conditions, because obviously in the past couple of days I've had issues with OBS disconnecting and reconnecting all the time. But I think it's the aftermath of the recent storm and everything that we've had recently over here.
Yeah, good old Storm Henk, I think it was. I'm going to turn my bitrate down slightly, so it will affect the coverage on the stream slightly. I am going to turn off the camera as well, just to make sure that that is not causing any issues, which means we won't be seeing Mike for the rest of tonight, unfortunately, but it saves me and my laptop. That's all I'm putting on. So you will see me on a very much a solo camera, and hopefully that will be live around about now. There, you can see my lovely face. See, there we are. We don't need cameras. We don't need Mike alongside us. Well, we do need Mike alongside us in the commentary box, but it looks like...
I'll go.
Do not go. Do not go. Well, looks like the drivers were trying to ready up, by the way. They were being very, very impatient. Julian Klaffenbach there in spectate mode is going to literally try and get us underway. We are still waiting. Actually, no, we're not waiting on Yone Dovzan. We're just waiting on Julian to select his F1 World Car, and then we'll be good to go.
Yeah, so as soon as Julian selects his F1 World Car, we'll be ready to get into the action. Of course, going to be a very interesting race. To be honest, a very demanding circuit, I think, at times is Monza. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys approach it. You know, the good old Temple of Speed and the Rettifilio, the Della Rocha chicane, the Curva dell'Esmo, what's called a Scari Parabolica is going to be interesting, especially on traction in those corners.
Yeah, definitely. So it looks like we've lost another driver now. So I don't know what is going on. You can see it now on the stream in terms of the lobby. Hopefully we can get things going on very soon indeed. Julian is now out of spectate mode. He is there. He's fine. We've got Yone in. Somebody has just left the session though, and I'm not sure who that might be. I'm just having a quick scroll through, and it might be Jack Harrington that we've lost. I think it is Jack Harrington we've lost.
As if Team England didn't have enough issues already, but one of the drivers having issues keeping in the lobby at the moment, not great, especially after last week. I mean, it was a very tough week for, sorry, not last week, 2 weeks ago. It was a very tough race at the Netherlands for Team England.
It was very, very tough indeed. Yeah, Tom, of course, was there alongside, I'm trying to think, alongside Kieran, yeah, and Tom got caught up in an incident, I think coming out of turn number 12, if I'm not mistaken, and that was unfortunate for Team England. Put them right against the cosh, put them right up against it, and unfortunately for Team England, they ended up towards the bottom end of the field. And Kieran Humphreys produced a very, very good performance as well, up until the point, I think, where he had a bit of moment coming out of turn number 1 and then got speed off into the wall out of Tarzan. So that was unfortunate for him from his perspective, but Team England are already here. Hopefully everything will go according to plan. Looks like it is Sasha, that I think is Julian, who was had his game now crash. Might be the case where we might have invited somebody. Daniel Kelton has just sent me a friend request. Thank you, Daniel. I will accept that right about now for you lovely guys on the stream. I'm going to have a look at what you guys are saying as well in the chat. Hope you're all doing well on this fine Wednesday evening, and hopefully you are going to keep us according to plan, and hopefully you keep us on the straight and narrow in terms of the lobby as well. But hopefully we'll get going. Looks like, though, we're going to get going. Oh, you can hear two of me. You don't want to hear that. We have got a poll up, by the way, if you do want to have a go at predicting who might be winning tonight's race. It looks like 42% of you were going for other and please comment right now, so that's looking not too bad. Can't see many drivers being put in terms of the comment section, to be honest. I'm seeing plenty of team support, but no driver support. Daniel Kelton's got 30%, Kean Gordon-Dulp's got 20%, and Thomas Laminen on 10% right now. So we will close that poll towards the end of qualifying. Maze is in charge of that. I have dropped him a message, so hopefully we can get him to end the poll. Otherwise, it's just going to go on throughout the stream. Jack saying his PC crashed, so that is why it seems that we are having that delay. It seems like everyone's PC is crashing, to be honest, though.
Yeah, like I said, like in the past couple of days, like I've personally had issues now with streaming and that, and it's OBS and Streamlabs and I disconnecting, reconnecting. To be honest, I think it is down to the weather conditions that we've had recently, because it can play a factor from time to time, and it might have gone out of Wales now, but I think it has shifted over to the to cover most of England at this point.
Yeah, it has. I know it hasn't really affected us up here in the north of England, luckily, but I think it's mainly the south, and it's obviously bordering France and the mainland of Europe, and obviously now Denmark and everything. So yeah, the weather's certainly playing a few issues, potentially, hopefully not issues being caused at all. Kieran Humphreys has also followed me as well, so thank you very much, Kieran, on Twitter. If you do want to follow me on Twitter, of course, it is at PGS_JHead. If you want to hook me up. Hook me up? No, that's not right. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do that on X these days, formerly known as Twitter, PGS_JHead, and you are just at Ivorbryn Mike, I believe.
Yeah, that is just Ivorbryn Mike at Ivorbryn Mike, IVORBRYNMIKE.
There we have it. And if you do want to follow us, you will find, certainly on my end, that there's some weird stuff going on. But anyways, there is the darts final going on as well. So maybe drivers just want to try and get the darts final on. Maybe watch Luke Littler beat WR's Luke Humphreys.
Maybe. I mean, I haven't been watching too much of the darts this year. I used to watch it quite a bit, but fortunately for this time around, I haven't really been paying attention to it.
22 of you, by the way, tuning into the stream. Thank you very much to each and every one of you that is tuning into the stream right now. It is a bit like me and Evan Dalton with PSGL and the infamous podcast that we did on PSF1 when the whole lobby went down and everything went down, and then we ended up playing rock, paper, scissors live on stream. There's going to be none of that, unfortunately, here tonight, but it looks like what the drivers are doing is readying up, and we are pretty much good to go in terms of the racing out on track here tonight. So good luck to everyone out on track. Looking through the support, by the way, Plain Duck saying go JSD, Grimbo saying go France, Plain Ducks going go Germany. He's also put go Team Germany further down as well. Haribo there saying Allez Faiso Bon Chance. And OP Louis Valentine saying Gem Salah Grimbos. That is my French well and truly right there for you. Everyone's pleasure, I'm sure, but hopefully everything is good. We've got Jack Harrington in. All 20 drivers are in. Let's get racing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Better go into qualifying then. We'll show you, in fact, the track map of Monza, the Temple of Speed, of course. 5.793 kilometres, 3.5 mile. 11 turns away now with drivers out on track. Around the bootleg-shaped track, of course, of this infamous circuit. 75% of this can be taken at full, flat-out speeds. So plenty of overtaking, plenty of opportunities for overtaking as well. But also, Mike, it's going to be really, really hard on not only the tyres, but also on the ERS, because ERS management around here, I know fine well, because I've driven on this game around this track, it is fine well difficult to try and save ERS around this track.
Yeah, it can be incredibly difficult to save the ERS battery, but if you are within a DRS range of the car in front of you, it does make things a lot easier. So sometimes being the lead car in the train is not where you want to be. Sometimes just being right slap bang behind the guy ahead is perfect for you.
It is definitely perfect for the drivers, and also perfect is the conditions out on track. And what is also perfect, first lobby of 2024, we've got the man in first, coming out track first, and it is Mr. Daniel Kelton, of course, has been racing for Veloce Academy, and they're wrapping up with second place in the PSGL E-Series. He's back here tonight after, of course, his appearance in round one and indeed in the qualifiers. And Daniel is a name which is on our poll as staking potentially to win this race. I've also put Thomas Laminin on there because he's returning here tonight. He's a very consistent driver. He's, in fact, the man behind him out on track as well. Why wouldn't you not see that? Daniel Kelton and Thomas Laminin, first two out on track. But back to Daniel, first and foremost, Mike. His performances in Veloce Academy in the PSGL E-Series have been really, really strong. And if he shows that form from E-Series coming into tonight, he should be a big contender for the race win.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We had a little bit of a conversation before the stream started. Obviously, you tipped to keep an eye on the likes of Team Norway and, of course, Team Finland as well. So, it's got definitely a great pairing from both sides and definitely capable of getting some big points. And, of course, Daniel Kelton, definitely a man who can get a job done.
Definitely a man that can get a job done indeed, and hopefully he will be getting that job done for Team Norway. Jack saying thank you to us guys as well. You're going, it's coming home, it's coming Rome, even Mike there in the chat. And plenty of support being shown by every one of you. We are missing Mr. Pascal Goydendorp though in the chat. I know he's there for PCF1 right now, so hopefully he'll be coming and seeing his son racing very soon indeed here in EEC. As now, we get Thomas Laminin on a lap. The TF10 man now coming through the final corner at Curva Alboreto, or Parabolica to you and me, on the run now down and towards turn number one with the Finn, and we get towards around about 220 miles an hour on the braking zone down in towards turn number one. It is indeed 220 in toward the rest field of chicane, but that is already a mess up on his lap. We oversee it coming through turn number one, got put off there, think by his teammate in fact, coming out of the pit lane, not according to plan for Thomas Laminin, got put off by that car coming on the exit of the pit lane, and that's his lap absolutely done for.
Yeah, that's not what you want early on. Of course, you want to get a lap on the board as soon as possible because you don't want to be searching for that lap at the end where the pressure really does mount up.
Daniel Kelton, though, in the first sector, 26.1, so he's looking very, very sharp through that first sector. Now coming in towards the Lesmos of turns 6 and 7, not to be confused with something that might be on your mind right now. He's going to get blocked, though, coming through turn 7, just about, and that's actually his teammate, going to give him some slipstream running down the straight. Remember, slipstream is in effect here in EEC, so can gain drivers a lot of time, and Daniel Kelton, that middle sector, 52.2, so pretty much on par with what we see normally in the middle sectors. Now coming through the left-hander now of Ascari, coming out of Ascari in toward Parabolica or Curva Alboreto at turn number 11. We'll see what Daniel Kelton can do in a Ferrari-coloured car for Team Norway, coming through the final corner at Michael Schumacher's home track and Michael Schumacher's birthday track as well. He's 55 here today. Hopefully he's keeping fighting like Daniel Kelton is across the line with an 18.2 from the Veloce Academy man.
Great opening lap there for Daniel Kelton, and starting to get a few lap times coming in now. I believe that is Kian coming through with an 18.6, and of course JST on a 19.4, and immediately beaten by Fabian Marksteiner.
Yeah, Fabian Marksteiner there going third, PSGL F4 man, if I'm not mistaken. He'll kill me later on if I've got that wrong. Louis Valentin is on the lap as well. He's actually 25.8 in that first sector, as Keen Gordendorp there goes second. Jerovan Bussell there in third. Matteo now going second as well for Team Italy. So looking very, very strong so far. Bogdan Moldovan normally quite strong around this track. He's going fourth. Sasha Andre, though, his teammate, going fourth there as well. One ball with Louis Valentin, though, running down the... Is it the retro? No, it's not the retro poster. Curva del Terrario coming through the middle sector. 52 flat in that middle sector is up on Daniel's time. Oh, as he's nearly all out of shape coming through Ascari, and the Frenchman is going to back off his lap. So Louis Valentin not going to improve in terms of that lap time, I don't think. He's there in 19th position, might end off this lap. He is running low on fuel, however, so he might decide to come back into the pit lane. As pretty much McClavchich is out of the session. That is coming through the right-hander of... That's, in fact, I think in the pit lane as Louis Valentin, even with that mistake, Mike, goes 7,000 slower than Daniel Gelton.
Yeah, he is on it tonight. Is Louis Valentin immediately getting himself onto the front row with that mistake? Definitely going to be a huge boost of confidence for him going forward in this qualifying session.
Just remember, by the way, about Primoz and indeed Yone Dobzan, because they've both retired. Both of them have got qualifying bans for picking up reprimands from incidents in the Netherlands. It was a very hectic race. In the Netherlands, they were found to have been adjudged to a couple of them, so therefore, unfortunately, they are out of the session already. Luckily, though, it's only 18 minutes worth of qualifying, and it's not full qualifying, as we normally see from Legacy Division. Let's see what the NLR man of Jack Harrington can do. Running down the straight in towards Ascari to 52.9 in the middle sector. More looking like my sedate pace around here, to be honest, in that middle sector. But Jack now coming through Ascari, running up the hill in towards Parabolica. We'll see what the Englishman can do there in 20th position. Kieran Humphreys, by the way, has not set a lap time just yet. He's there in 18th position right now. The Team England definitely need to get on the board in Italy's home track and home ground. Jack Harrington now on the run to the line. You can probably tell he's an engineer to 19.232, and actually pretty much borderline with what I said around here.
There we go. James Ed will be quite competitive here today.
I would. I think pole position, what, League of Europe Division 4 was like an 18-9 or something. And that's currently, what, 11th? Yeah, I could factor myself in this.
I don't know. I spent too much time spinning, so I wouldn't know.
Anyways, Daniel Kelton leading the way from Louis Valentin. Matteo there currently in third. Espen Gade Utne there in the chat saying, let's go Norway. Hopefully that's a good pronunciation of your name. 26.1 in the first sector from Thomas Lamminen. And Thomas Lamminen has absolutely lapped up the curb there, coming through the right-hander of turn number 5, down towards Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. We'll ride on board with the TF10 man and see what he can do through this middle sector. Look quite scrappy, I've got to be honest. Coming out of that chicane, put him off centre, off the track, and coming through this middle sector, he's going to be down on Daniel Kelton, he's going to be down on Louis Valentin for sure, 52.6 in that middle sector, up into 8th gear, and invalidating coming through Ascari, so it's just gone from bad to worse.
Yeah, just turning in just a slight bit too early, taking a bit too much that inside curve, and then validation there for Thomas Lamminen.
Yeah, and Espen has said he's butchered it, but it's fine. Yeah, I'm not really fluent in Norwegian. I'm not really fluent in any other language, to be honest, apart from my own. But there we are. We have it. Thomas Lamminen there going 15th position. Daniel Kelton, though, out on top. Louis Valentin second. Matteo there in third. There is one rogue car, however, coming towards the end of this middle sector and the end of the final sector. In fact, it is the Rising Lines man, Fabi Marksteiner. He's there in 13th position, 19.4. Was saying to me before this race that he's not confident. He absolutely detests Temple of Speed, detests Monza. Let's see what he can do on a lap.
Yep, let us see as gets himself underway here for a flying lap, coming down in towards the first chicane, Variante del Retificio, and third gear, the gear of choice there, getting good traction on the exit as we head through the Curva Grande now. And honestly, I'm hoping for a lot of side-by-side action through Curva Grande, and maybe some few side-by-side action into the break-in of Variante della Rocha chicane, and he just snapped in a little bit too early there, and that is an invalidation there for Fabian.
Yeah, unfortunate invalidation. What's even more unfortunate, 2024 brings us no response, or brings us actually no calls in terms of the illegal blocking, because Mr. Bogdan Moldovan has picked up the first 2024 illegal blocking of the European Esports Championship, and in fact I think it is the first illegal blocking I think we've had.
Yeah, I can't quite remember off the top of my head if we've had an illegal blocking, apart from perhaps maybe in qualifying.
Yeah, I think qualifiers was fine, obviously. Enzo Soon, by the way, is on a lap. He's looking very, very strong. Running down now the Cova del Serralio in toward the end of the middle sector. 52-2, so he's on par with Daniel in the middle sector. On par with Louis Valentin. Louis Valentin, remember, 52-6 in that middle sector compared to Daniel on a 118.2 and a 52.2 in that middle sector. Enzo, though, looking very strong. Now coming in toward the final corner. Does the Veloce Academy now coming through the final corner? We'll see what the Frenchman can do. Can Team France go to the top end of the field? Enzo Soom on the run to the line. He does, but it's only by 700ths of a second. That is definitely eatable for the advantage. John Kelton now on the run to the line as well, the Team Norway man, and he's actually down by 2.5 tenths of a second. Matteo just on up a lap. Daniela Parodi just coming off a lap. Kian Goydendorp, however, though, Mike, in the middle sector. Oh, very sideways.
And currently on board with JST, 4 temps up in the middle sector, coming through Parabolic. And now, what can the German driver do as he approaches the line now? Is this going to be a significant improvement for him as he crosses the line up into P9, JST?
Kian Goydendorp, though, was improving 2.5 tenths in the middle sector. He's up on Enzo's time by a good 800ths in that middle sector. We'll see what Kian can do. Now coming through the final couple of corners through Parabolica for the final time. Comes Kian Goydendorp on this lap. Does he go pole? No, he goes fourth. He absolutely obliterated that final sector. That was looking so good through the middle sector. Must have been the first sector where he made a slight mistake. Going to give Jerry Van Bussel a big opportunity for a bit of slipstream down the straight, it seems. Jerry Van Bussel there, 18.4. Matteo is improving, though, 2.5 tenths up, coming to the line, goes second. Good lap for Matteo.
Yeah, and I believe we just had Daniel Parodi as well going up into P3 as well.
Yeah, Team Italy really, really cooking, quite literally. Maybe cooking a paella or spaghetti and meatballs or something like that. Enzo Soom out on top for Matteo in second. Daniele Parodi there in third. Thomas Laminen as well. Not going to be improving, however. Again, the finished man with that pressure from me in the comment section and indeed in the poll. He's there in 16th and another invalid lap.
Yeah, I think you mounted the pressure on Thomas Laminen there as he loses the back end through Parabolica. And that, I think, potentially could be a side setup situation there. Maybe we're looking at a bit of a different scenario for the race because yeah, the back end shouldn't be stepping out like that through Parabolica.
And he's missed the pit lane as well. I thought he would have just came straight into the pits there. And he's there in, 16th position. He's missed the pit lane. And I think there's still about 5 minutes to go in the session, luckily for him. So he can get back around and go for another lap. But if that was 2 minutes later, and that was, 3 minutes ago, he'd really struggle to try and get back into the pit lane without cutting a few corners here and there, just to try and find any improvement that is coming. Speaking of improvements, Mark Schluter is in that middle sector, the German, now coming through the left-hander of turn number 10 out of Ascari, and he's up by 200ths of a second, so not good improvement in terms of his position at least, but certainly good improvement in terms of his time. He's got Sapalo ahead of him for Team Finland there in 9th, Sasha Andre for Romania there in 8th, so he's going to be aiming for between them both, potentially, as Mark now comes on the run toward the line. The German man does improve, but again, doesn't improve his position. But he's only 4,000ths of a second off Sapala, so that is going to buoy him with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we got Thomas Laminen now coming into the pits, I would assume now. As I can't quite see how long we got left remaining in the session, but I imagine we got close to 3 minutes left in the session now.
It should be around 3.5 minutes, I would believe. 4 minutes, in fact. So actually, he's slightly off on both of us thought. But
Bogdan has just started a lap now. Bogdan Moldovan.
Yeah, Bogdan just starting up on a lap. The Romanian man now coming to the left-hander of turn number 2 with the Ratafidio chicane. Not to be confused with the Della Roggia, of course, around here. We'll see what Bogdan can do. Coming through the right-hander of Curva Grande at turn number 3. 1,000th of a second off JSD. 4,000th off Jack Harrington. First sector, 700ths up. So good improvement from the PSGL PCF2 PC Tier 2 man.
Yeah, and taking a lot of curve there through the Della Rocha chicane as we go through the Lesmos now. Through turn 6 now into turn number 7. He's got good traction on the exit here and he gets brilliant traction. DRS wide open. Might get a little bit of a slipstream from the car ahead, but car ahead, moving swiftly out of the way. What is the middle sector split? Nearly 3 tenths up in the middle sector, but turns in too early for Ascari, and that is an invalid lap time there for Bogdan.
Yeah, unfortunate for Bogdan there. Of course, with Moldovan in his name, you would think he'd actually try and get his neighbour turned into the car, quite literally, for Team Romania, but he's there, 13th position. Not bad at all, though, from Bogdan. Again, he should have took a little bit too much curb, coming through the left-hander part, coming in towards the entrance into Ascari. He could have took a lot more curb on that right-hand side, and I think that's what he missed. That's what he missed in terms of that turn-in. He's there in 13th position. That's unlucky for some for now. Endel Soon, by the way, though, is improving, I believe, in this middle sector by only a minute thousandth of a second. But Endel Soon not improving anymore.
No, just a little twitch coming through Ascari there, and that's enough to send Enzo's lap into absolute turmoil. But I believe he's going to provide a nice little slipstream for his teammate down the start-finish straight here.
Yeah, he will do indeed. Daniel Kelton as well, just starting up on a lap. Of course, his teammate Havmik there, down in 14th position for Team Norway. Louis Valentin, of course, just starting up on a lap as well. We'll reference his first sector in a second, but by the time we get to the end of the middle sector with Daniel Kelton, Louis Valentin will breathe through that first sector, I would expect, as Daniel gets a bit of slipstream from the Team Norway teammate of Havmik, running now down the covered El Serralio. He's got a Dutch car just ahead of him, and it's a 52 flat in that middle sector from the Veloce Academy man. Louis Valentin is coming to the end of the first sector. He's 800ths down, so Louis Valentin not at the minute improving. Daniel Kelton, though, looking on fire. A 10th and a half up, coming in towards Parabolica now at the final corner. Daniele Parodi, Matteo and Endel Soon, all up for grabs potentially here for the Team Norway man, the Veloce Academy man. Now on the run to the line, does Daniel Kelton goes quickest? Yes, he does. 10th of a second, and a 10th of a second around here, Mike, is pretty big.
Yeah, absolutely. And coming on board with Louis Valentine back up in the middle sector, gets through Ascari. No invalidations there for the Frenchman. And now there's nothing left to do but put your foot to the floor as we approach now, heading towards Parabolica. One more time here in qualifying.
Yeah, he's putting the pedal to the metal. He's putting the foot to the floor. Coming through the final corner from Louis Valentin. We'll see what the Frenchman can do, what the outplayed racing man can do on his PC debut. Does he go quickest? No. He goes 1,000 ahead of his own teammate. He's back into the pit lane. That looks like Enzo is done for tonight. Daniel Parodi on a lap. Kian not on a lap. Jerry Van Bussel, I believe, however, is. He's coming through the first sector, now into the middle sector. Oh, completely runs wide, though. Coming out of Lismo 1, and that's Jerry Van Bussel done on the lap.
And of course, this is a big opportunity for a lot of these guys to gain some big points on the Team Netherlands team. Obviously, with Jay Van Bussel on a validated lap in P7, and his teammate straight ahead of him, Kian, and he's in the wall and absolutely butchered it through Ascari there.
And coming through Ascari, on board with Havmik, he is improving by 2.5 tenths. So Havmik is looking to try and get big in this final sector. He has got very, very good speed on his day for Team Norway. Now coming through the final corner, I'd expect him to go around Keane Gordon-Dub, Jovan Bussel, Sasha, that sort of area with this lap. Havmik now on the run to the line, goes 9th and behind Sasha, so exactly where I thought he might go.
Yeah, of course, Havmik, a driver I'm very familiar with in PSGL F4 on the PlayStation side of things, so it's good to see Havmik out there doing very well for himself up there in P9.
Daniele Parodi, by the way, went second as well, with an 18.167. Bogdan Moldovan, though, has got something to say about that in this middle sector. 52.3s down through the middle, he's up through the middle sector, but down in terms of a respective lap to Daniel and Daniele. So I don't think it's going to be quickest for Bogdan. But if he puts himself mid-pack, Thomas Lamminen, Havmik, Sasha Andre, that sort of area, we should see how that will go out on track as Bogdan now comes through the final corner for Team Romania. Now on the run to the line, he's the final man out there with Jack Harrington's fun coming through Parabolica there. Bogdan goes 10th ahead of Thomas Lamminen. I think that is everyone done. Mark Schluter's 4 tenths down, but I don't think he's on a lap right now. Daniel Kelton, I can confidently say, is out on top. Daniele Parodi in second, and Louis Valentin there in third. So, to 32% of you, including me, well done.
And I'm patting myself on the back because I also went with Daniel Kelton.
And it's not because I swayed Mike potentially to pick him in the poll just before we came live.
Nope, no, absolutely not. I do not get influenced.
I'm glad you don't. You only get influence in the football when Wales is playing England, so there we are.
No, that happens in any game where Wales against England.
But yeah, Daniel Kelton out on top. Daniele Parodi second, Louis Valentine there in third. That is one wide looking red Alfa Romeo livery on Matteo's car, by the way, as we come out down the straight on board with him. Wide boy, quite literally there for Matteo. But Daniel Kelton is out on top. Look at the top four as well. 900ths of a second separating top four. Very, very close indeed. Matteo added into that. Top five just separated by more than a tenth. But it is Daniel Kelton out on top from Daniele Parodi in second. Louis Valentine there in third, Enzo there in fourth, and actually, with Italy and France up there, very, very strong showing from both of their teams. Keane Gordondale there in sixth, Joe Van Bussel there in seventh. Of course, 5-second penalties will get removed. Sasha Andre there in eighth, Havmik in ninth. Bogdan Moldovan ran off the top 10. So 5 teams with all their drivers in the top 10. Thomas Laminen, then Sapala 11th and 12th, Mark Schluter and Julian Klappenbach 13th, 14th. Then Jack Harrington, JSD, Fabi Mark Starner. Primoz City Sly Guy for Kieran Humphries. I think he had a qualifying ban as well for Team England. And also Jurnek Dobzan there down at the back of the field. We didn't see Slovenia. We didn't see Kieran Humphries in terms of that session either. But while we get a new lobby going, I think we might be staying in the same one. We are going to have a word from our sponsors, Next Level Racing, and indeed a bit of our merchandise showing from Rising Lions. We'll be back with you in about a minute's time. Welcome back, everyone, to the European Esports Championship. We are here tonight for round number 3 of the championship. It is indeed at the Temple of Speed in Monza, and that is the current lay of the land as it comes into 2024 and comes into round 3 of the championship. Myself, James Head, and Mr. Michael Edwards taking you through the stream. And reminder of the action from what happened 2 weeks ago. Tatcha Hardy, of course, taking that race win in very dramatic circumstances in that race. Primoz Roglic in second, GL Gilles in third, Team Netherlands out on top, 80 points to their name, Slovenia in second on 59, but judging by qualifying there, Mike, Team Norway certainly on the hunt.
Yep, Team Norway on the hunt, Team France on the hunt, as well as Team Italy as well. Again, 5 cars combined between those 3 teams, 5 cars ahead of both of the Netherlands drivers.
Yeah, honestly, it's going to be really interesting, I think, how everything pans out, because qualifying is one thing, the race is completely a different thing, and normally we get to see normally the drivers at the top end of the field struggle in terms of the whole race grand scheme of things. And with 27 laps awaiting the drivers out on track tonight, it is going to put them completely under the pressure to try and deliver, as it looks like we've had an issue with Mark Schluter, Yone Dovzan, and I believe also it's just them two that has left the session. Thomas Laminen has left the session as well, so I will try and get them back in while we've got the time. But you can speak, Mike, so don't worry.
The whole.
Oh.
I can't lie yet that, frustrated, shall we say, with what's going on with the game right now.
I didn't hear any of that, Mike. Can you hear me? I think we're having issues, potentially, in terms of communication on Discord. Hang on. Wait a minute. Mark has left the session again. Bear with us. Hang on. I'm going to do a quick disconnect and then a reconnect on Discord. See if that works. I'm in the wrong Discord. There we are. Give me a second. Hopefully we can get back in.
Yeah, while you're sending the invites in.
Mr. Mike Edwards, are you here? No, is the answer. No is the answer. Right, we're having issues in terms of communication on our end. Hopefully you can all hear me. Please let me know in the comment section if you can hear me at least. And then hopefully we can get back going again very soon indeed. It is very good that I can't actually invite the guys that I'm supposed to be inviting in. Yannick Dovzan's one of them, so I can actually get him in. And Thomas Laminen, I think, is another. So hang on, I'll try and get him in. Mark Schluter I haven't got on my friends list, so we can't get him in. So, and Thomas Laminen's not on my friends list either, so I've got one in at least.
Update. I think they're going to retire immediately and keep this lobby to re-invite them.
Can you hear me, by the way? No. Oh my god, what the hell is happening?
And I'm lagging out as well.
Oh no. I think Discord's on the blink. I think Discord is dying on us. The absolute joys of being live, exclusive on League Racing TV, and having well, we are going to restart is what the first thing is, what Mike has just mentioned there. We are going to restart a new lobby, and hopefully we can get that lobby up and going. I know for a fine fact that if we don't get the lobby up and running, it will probably get cancelled, which is the last thing that we want to do. It's the last thing that these drivers want to do as well. Last thing what you guys want as well. But it might have to be the case where this race does get cancelled, and especially if we are having issues as well on our end, certainly with Discord, then the stream quality is going to be all over the place. But hopefully we're all back fine. It might just be a little bit intermittent lag. Everyone is retiring, by the way, which is good. And hopefully, oh my god, hopefully we can see some good action out on track very soon indeed. But yeah, EA and Cody's definitely not on our side here tonight, Mike.
No, absolutely not. And everyone swiftly retiring. And Scott, I believe what we're going to be doing now is just getting the drivers out of the session, back in the session to go again. So yeah, unfortunately with the delays, now we can't bring the action as quickly as we would like.
Yeah. And I love how people can complain about it as well, saying that it's been wasted their time, 35 minutes worth of wasting, where this is out of our control. This is out of everyone else's control. Luckily the drivers have now retired within the lobby. Hopefully we can now get going back on track. But it doesn't help things when drivers have been so absolute belligerent to everything that is going on that they can't retire. It's simple. Just retire from the lobby, get this done as quickly as possible, and then get on with things. The new lobby has been set up, so Mateo was right on things, but unfortunately, drivers are not liking the idea of retiring somewhat. So they are the ones that are actually holding this up, not us in terms of the grid, not us in terms of Mateo getting the lobby up. It is just simply the case of drivers being completely and utterly belligerent to their own ideals and their own ideas in terms of getting this restart done. And I'm sorry to go off on a tangent, but it's just frankly true, because if you want to complain to the admins. Do not complain to yourselves. Simple as. But there we are. Right, we're going to go back on mute in a second. We'll be back in around about 30 seconds or so. Right, welcome back everyone to the European Esports Championship. We are, as you can tell, getting back going underway, and hopefully you are all able to hear us, because we are having Discord issues right now on the stream, which means I may not be able to hear Mike, Mike might not be able to hear me, but what hopefully you can do is hear me flying through OBS, which is what I'm talking through. So hopefully everything is okay. Hopefully everything will go according to plan. I'm going to check in with Mike and see if he's there. Mike, are you with us?
Yeah, I am with you as it currently stands. Hopefully it remains that way. But yeah, unfortunately, Discord causing a little issue. So unfortunately, if I do cut out mid sentence, you guys in the chat know and understand why.
Espen's saying that we can hear you fine. I can hear you fine as well, so everything is going according to plan. Yeah, there was about a 2-3 minute interval there where I couldn't hear Mike, he couldn't hear me, and then everything went down the pan. We had to get this lobby restarted. I then went off on a tangent in terms of berating the drivers. But now, hopefully, everything is going to go according to plan. Hopefully, we're going to get underway very soon. and hopefully at least, Mike, we get some action.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's all we can hope for right now. 27 laps of Monza awaits a Temple of Speed. And we're going to see who is going to come out on top here. And we're going to see...
Oh, and Mike has cut out for me.
France and team...
Yeah, as you can tell, we are having quite a few Discord issues right now if he's cutting out like that. Hopefully you can hear me, which is the more important thing, because I'm streaming. I can go through OBS if needs be, and I can do this as a solo commentary, but it is not the greatest thing where you can't speak to your co-commentator, you don't know who's going to be speaking, then you get everyone over speaking each other. Yeah, if it all goes to pot, then I'm sorry, but hopefully we can get back. Hopefully we can get underway very soon indeed, and let us hope that the lobby is stable, that Discord is stable, and that you are able to hear both of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go. 5 red lights have better come out, though, for the European Esports Championship. Round 3 is underway, and Daniel Kelton gets a slow start, and Daniel Parodi's going to be jumping on him down in towards turn 1. Already a bit of lag, actually, running in towards turn 1 by the looks. Louis Valentin on the back of Enzo Soom, looking to the inside of turn number 1, but it's Daniel Kelton that leads from Daniela Parodi, then Louis Valentin in third. Enzo Soom just about managing to handle him for fourth, but Matteo there is there on the outside, along with Keane Gordondale. I think everyone's through the Retrofield chicane fine. Sasha Andre getting on the back there of Jerry Van Bussel as well, as they come now through Curva Grande for the first time. There's nearly 3 wide as we come into the chicane. Keane Gordondale right on the back of Enzo, getting boxed in. Matteo there on the outside line, just about escaped that. And there goes Jerry Van Bussel. Through goes Jerry Van Bussel. 2 for 1. Can he pull off the move? Yes, he can. Jerry Van Bussel, the PSGL PSF1 man, season 34 champion, is through and he's into 5th position. Beautiful opportunism from the Dutchman.
Yeah.
As again, Mike is cutting out on my end, so I'm going to jump.
P8.
I'm going to jump across on Mike. I apologise for jumping across on Mike, but it is the case where Jerry Van Bussel has got that job done. Matteo all the way down into 8th position. He's on a set of hard compound tyres though. Thomas Laminen's up there positioned as well, and he's actually going past Matteo right on the background shot, right around the outside in towards Parabolica. Lovely move from him, but the top 2 are away. Daniel Kelton leads the way. Daniele Parodi there in second, then Louis Valentin in third. Sasha Andre now on the back of Keane Gordondale, running down the straight in towards turn number 1. The team Romanian man on the back of the Dutchman, on the back of the former PSF1 champion and PSGL. Down the inside he goes. There's a bit of a spin, and that's Louis Valentin that is round. Coming through turn 1, Louis Valentin caught up in an instant. I think that might have been as well, Mike, with his own teammate.
Potentially, unfortunately, I wasn't able to quite see that as looking at the battle in the midfield. Bogdan Moldovan getting through, looking for a double overtake now into the De La Rocha chicane. Brilliant move there from Bogdan Moldovan.
And now Kian's getting on the back of Sasha Andre, his teammate, to the inside line, in towards the first Lesbo, and now Thomas Laminen coming through to try and get the move on both of them. Coming now through the right hand of Lesbo, 1-0. He's forced off track there slightly, but Thomas Laminen doesn't care. He is through and he's into 6th position. Bit of Scandinavian flicking there from Keane Goydendorp. Running now down the straight, Mark Schluter and Havik are side by side as well, and it's 2x2 like Noah's Ark. They go through, and now Matteo has contact over Keane Goydendorp. He comes across on the grass, he comes across on the gravel, rejoins track. That'll definitely be a warning at least. And now JSD right on the back of Havik, Julian Klaffenbach there in there as well. And also in there, I think somewhere, is Sapala. He's right on the back of these guys, the Finn. Out in front, though, we'll have to return to the lead. Daniela Parodi on the back of Daniel Kelton for the race lead. He's not going to get the job done in towards turn 1, but absolute mayhem throughout the field. There's nearly 4 wide into the straight.
3 wide in towards turn number 1 right now. Havmilk, Mark, and I believe that's... I believe it was JST in there as well as Julian in behind us, just looking at this ahead and he's thinking, my God, how am I getting through all this?
How on earth is everyone getting through this and surviving is what I want to ask everyone after this race. Sapala on the back of Julian Kaffenblock there as well, and he's on the outside, not going to get the job done. There's a spinner in the background, and that's Fabian Marksteiner that is round. I think he got caught up there, maybe with Jone Dovzan or Primoz Maklavčić, one of the 2 Slovenian drivers. I think Primoz is the one that's got caught up in that. I'm not sure if he's got right side end plate damage on the car. Fabian Marksteiner, though, will definitely be unimpressed by the Slovenian if it was him. Very difficult to see, but there was a blue car behind the red car, and the red car spun.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Fabian. Mark Steiner going to be falling down all the way to the back and having to make his way back through. But we got an interesting battle going on for P5, well, technically P3 right now, with Enzo leading this train, Jerry Van Bussel in P4, Bogdan Moldovan in P5, and then Thomas Laminen in P6 closing in and setting the fastest lap of the race at the same time. As here we go now for the race lead, and Jerry getting through for P3.
Jerry Van Bussel, yeah, getting the opportunism again, through into P3s. On that set of medium compounder tyres, he'll be aiming to go maybe on a set of softs towards the end of the race. Definitely avoid the hards around this track, as Endel Soom has just found out coming through the around the West Video chicane. He's just lost 3 places for the price of 1, quite literally, down the straight and then through turn number 1 and 2. So that is him now down in 6th. But what is good about Endel's strategy later on, he can go on a set of soft compounder tyres, probably from around lap 18, 19, and then get to the end of the race. Trust me, I tried the hard softs around this track, and trust me, they work. As Endel's right on the back of Thomas Laminen running down the straight, and Goydendorp there on the back of him as well. Going to look for the move in towards the left-hander of Ascari. Not going to get the job done coming through there. Daniele Parodi, though, leading the way from Daniel Kelton there in second. Daniel, though, right on the back of the Italian. The Italian doing a good job right now. And interesting, actually, Mike, if we're back with you, Daniel Kelton there in second. 0.3 of a second off, but he's burned hardly any battery, apart from now, because he's going to fly past him down the straight in towards turn 1. Daniel Kelton now leading from another Daniele.
Yeah, brilliant day for Daniel Kelton as Bogdan Moldovan gets him over Jerry Van Bussel for P3. A look at Thomas Laminen down the inside in towards the red video chicane, and looks like Jerry Van Bussel's going to be able to hold it. They lock wheels, and that's going to allow a little bit of breathing room now for Bogdan Moldovan up ahead.
Oh, oi, 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 goodness me, what is going on? Thomas Laminen in 4th, Jerry Van Bussel there in 5th, and Enzel Soom looking to the inside line. He's going to try and block the way for Kean Goydendorp there in the background as well. My word, what is this race? It's lap 5 out of 27, and I think we've had about much action as what there was in real-life Formula 1 last season in 2023. Daniel Kelton leading the way, Daniele Parodi in 2nd, Bogdan Moldovan there in 3rd. Let's quickly have a look at the position changes. And the position change is quite stark, because on a set of soft compounder tyres, Bogdan Moldovan up 7, Thomas Laminen up 7, Mark Schluter also up 7, GSD up 7, and Mark Schluter actually getting the move done on Sasha Andre just in behind as well. But again, coming now through in towards Parabolica, all hell is about to break loose.
Yeah, absolutely, as we could be 4 riders. In fact, Jerry Van Bussel, they're losing the back end through Parabolica. That could open things up now for Enzo. And Kian gets through on Enzo, actually, so Enzo not getting the best of traction out of Parabolica, and we could see a switch in between the two Netherlands drivers, as I believe the lead also changed hands as well. Daniel Parodi now back into the race lead.
Austria against Team Norway down the straight and towards turn 1 as well. Julian up the inside on a Havmik gets the job done. Nice job indeed done from the Austrian, getting through on the back of the Norway man, and Sapala and Sasha Andre side by side coming through Curva Grande as well. And now they come in toward the Della Rocha chicane, and there's 3 wide in the foreground of shots. Looking, I think that was Mark Schluter trying to block the way there for Julian Klaffenblock, and then Jone Dovzan getting through on that as well. Sasha Andre trying to get involved in this. Right around the outside goes the Romanian, just about getting the job done. It's high octane action here in the Temple of Speed. Did say Temple of Speed could produce some action, and definitely is. Sapala there on the back of Havmik. The 2 Scandinavians are side by side down the straight, and might actually get the run on Sasha Andre if they're not careful. Might be too quick. Sapala backs out. Havmik there backing out as well. Sasha Andre through, and he's into 13.
Yeah, it is absolutely living up to his name, the Temple of Speed, and the way these overtakes are coming quick and fast is definitely following his namesake.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's well worth the wait, I think. The 35-minute delay that Jerry Van Bussel said. Definitely well worth the wait. And speaking of Jerry Van Bussel, he's going to be absolutely hacked upon, maybe, by Enzel Soom, running down the straight in towards turn 1. Thomas Laminen getting through on Bogdan Moldovan, who blocks the way. Turn number 1, Kean very late on the brakes there on the back of Bogdan. I think Enzo was very close on the back there. Jovan Bossel, these two have had collisions back in the past in WR Lexi division. And look around the outside, there goes Matteo. 3 wide as they come through Kovac one day. Enzo, Jovan Bossel and Matteo all involved in this. Matteo backing now. Jovan Bossel now to the inside line. Just about getting through that, barely without scrapes on the bonnet of the car, quite literally. Enzo through and he's into 7th. Jovan Bossel there in 6th. How on earth they came out of that unscathed, I do not know.
That was incredible. Unfortunately, Disco did disconnect again while he was midway through conversating over that 3 wide moment. But
oh, and now it's ending on Mike's end as well, by the sounds of it. Hopefully we can get him back soon. The joys of commentating live and there being Discord issues, my friends. Enzo Zoom on the back of Jovan Bossel, looking to try and get the job done. Daniela Parodi, though, and Daniel Kelton, an eye to the lead right now. 2/10 of a second separating the two of them, but 4.1 seconds clear of Thomas Laminen and Bogdan Moldovan. All of that fighting costly. All of this fighting ahead, though, very much gaining. These two working together. Daniele Parodi leading. Daniel Kelton there in 2nd. Thomas Laminen there in 3rd, but not for long, because there goes Bogdan Moldovan. There goes Kean Goyden up to the inside line as well. On the wide out camera angle. Jovan Bossel on the back of Kean as well, just about to get through. But there's a string of about, 10, 11 cars, I'll make that out as. Yannick Dovzan in there as well in 11th. Hopefully we can get Mike back in. He is going to restart his Discord, so he will get back in shortly. But Thomas Laminen doesn't care about Mike and his issues. Thomas on the back of Bogdan, 3rd and 4th, trying to get the job done. Not quite close enough to the back. Daniela Parodi leading the way from Daniel Kelton in 2nd, Bogdan Moldovan in 3rd, and Thomas Laminen in 4th. And it's Kean Gordon, Jovan Bossel 5th and 6th. And Enzel Soon, Matteo, JSD Mark Schlu to the top 10. Julian Kaffenblock, Jone Dovzan there, even with Havmik in 13th. Sapala, then Louis Valentine 14th and 15th. Louis Valentine after that spin. Now Kieran Humphreys getting through, and Sasha Andre for 16th and 17th. Primoz Miklavcic, then Fabian Markstone, and Jack Harrington, I think, had damage potentially. He's there down in 20th position, right down at the back end of the field, and somebody has got damage, because Kieran Humphreys has got damage, and that is a safety car.
yeah, and again, troubles plague Team England, and Kieran Humphreys out of this race. Jack all the way down at the back as well for Team England. It is not going England's way. It's like the Euros. It all fell apart at the end.
Yep, it all fell apart in the end, and it's all fallen apart for Team England, unfortunately. Yeah, Kieran Humphreys spun, I think, coming out of Ascari. I think he's got caught on the outside curb, where he's ended up. I think he's probably got caught on the inside curb, then he's just overtaken the car around, then he's got caught on the other curb on the inside, and he's just spun off into the gravel, spun off into the wall, and that is Kieran Humphreys down at the back end of the field. We see a change of leader, though. Daniela Parodi leading the way. Daniel Kelton there in 2nd, Bogdan Moldovan there in 3rd. Looking at the big losers out of this, I don't think anybody really has lost many positions. I think Thomas Laminen's game on past Kean Goydendup, and the biggest loser, I think, is Mark Schluter there, down in 15th. He was around 11th, had that little bit of contact. He's there in 15th, and Mark Schluter there, obviously, down the field, has got caught up quite literally with the double stacking in the pit lane by the seams of it.
And of course, in the F1 World Cars, that is a major thing as well, because especially with the restart as well, you don't know who your teammate is in the pit lane.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not, which is unfortunate for him. And he's there down in 15th position, but hopefully he can try and recover if needs be. But the lay of the land and the roll call, quite literally, is as follows. It is Daniel Parodi leading the way. Daniel Kelton there in 2nd, Bogdan Moldovan there in 3rd, Thomas Laminen 4th, Kean Gordon-Dalt 5th, then Enzo Soom 6th, Jovan Bossel there in 7th. I think he's lost a position behind Enzo, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Matteo JSD gaining the positions along with Julian Havmik. Then Yone Dovzan top 12, Sapala, Louis Valentine, Mark Schluter there in 15th, and Fabian Markstein, who's gained a couple of positions. Sasha Andre, a big loser there as well. Primoz Miklavcic in 18th, and Jack Harrington there down in 19th position. And Jack as well was mentioned, I think, in the Discord a little bit earlier on, or either that or in the YouTube. He was saying he's currently racing with 3 hours no assist experience. I'm sure these guys can go without setups. To be honest, I think he needs a jetpack underneath that car right now, given how Team England's struggling at the back end of the field.
I mean, I respect anyone that's trying to learn no assist, and only 3 hours no assist. I mean, fair play. I mean, he has survived longer than his teammate Kieran, so it is very good going, and he is over a third of the way for this race. So keep going, Jack. Keep going. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, doing a great job. As I say, he is the PC manager for NLR, Neverlast Racing, and I fully respect anybody that tries to do no assist, regardless if you're on console, regardless if you're on PC. On PC, it is definitely a lot more difficult than it is on console to get that traction down and to get everything going. And Jack Harrington proving to us certainly that he can do it, and he can do it to everyone as well in the comment section. He's there in 19th, and to be fair, Mike, he's got the likes of Primus Klavjic ahead of him. He's got the likes of Louis Valentine, Sapala, real household names, and he's there in 19th. And remember, he's a PC engineer and manager for NLR. As I think we've lost Mike again.
Yeah, Discord disconnected when you were talking. Then you said household, and they went.
Oh yeah, I was saying he's got household names ahead of him. Jack Harrington in 19th. Shouldn't be disgraced of where he is right now, because he's got some household names, but he is proving that managers and engineers can do the same as what drivers can.
Yeah, absolutely. And with more time, the quicker and more confident you'll get around circuits like this one in particular. So, I mean, it all comes with time and practice.
Might not be many time, though, for him. He might be into the baptism of fire once again, because the safety car might be coming in this lap. Indeed it is coming in this lap. And Daniel Parodi leading the way. He's now the virtual pit manager. He's now the virtual safety car. Daniel Kelton there in second. Then Bogdan Moldovan there in third, and looking to try and get some really good racing going once again out on track. And it looks like Daniel Parodi is going to wait until the start-finish line to go, and now he goes with a very dodgy camera angle. He goes and he gets 0.4 of a second away from Daniel Kelton there in second. Thomas Laminen there on the back of Bogdan Moldovan. Everyone's going to be warming up their tyres. Somebody that isn't warming up his tyres, though, is Matteo, because he goes to the inside line on Jerry Van Bussel. Again, these two have had contact back in Legacy Division. These two hate each other from PSF1, and now they're looking to try and hate each other even more, because Jerry Van Bussel gets the job done on Matteo. Matteo, though, is going to come back at him, coming through Curva Grande. Look at him to the outside line now. Now for the inside, in toward the Della Rocha chicane. Jerry Van Bussel might be wise to back out of this one, and Matteo is through and he's into 7th. Nicely judged there by Jerry Van Bussel. Nicely judged by Matteo. That could have ended up a hell of a lot more differently than what it did, but Matteo through and he's into 7th. Very respectful driving.
Yeah, brilliant stuff here from both Matteo and Jerry Van Bussel there. Sapala picks up a 3-second time penalty, not what he needs down in P13 right now. But yeah, good fight between Jerry Van Bussel and Matteo as they close in now onto the back of Jerry's teammate in Kian.
Yeah, Kian going to be struggling. He's on that set of hard compounded tyres as well, so it is going to struggle him towards the end of the race, and it is going to be a real uphill task potentially for him on that sort of hard, with Matteo on the back of him. Matteo very much likes Kian in terms of their whole grand scheme of things, their whole battles. He's now right on the back of Kian, running down the straight in towards turn number 1, and as Matteo maybe going to even have a look at Enzo Soom here. He's going to back this off surely in towards turn number 1. Yeah, Kian stays ahead, Matteo there in 7th. But already, battles happening throughout the field. Sapala and Yone Dovzan now swapping positions, and Sapala, I think, Mike, is the first one, bar Primoz, to pick up a 3-second penalty. So both him and Primoz, 3-second penalties out on track, as Luke Littler takes the lead in the dots. And Mike loses connection again, it seems. Daniele Parodi on the back, leading the way. Daniel Kelson in second, Bogdan Moldovan in third. But it is shaping up to be a good race. I'm all saying, though, Mike, Sapala and Primoz both 3-second penalties.
Yeah, obviously know what you want at this stage in the race, especially after a safety car as well, when everyone's bunched up and everyone gets kind of stick in a DRS string with each other. Not what you want at all.
As I think he was
going, and he's going up the order.
As I think you were saying, JSD is going up the order there. 9th position for him. He's right on the back of Jerry Van Bussel, to be fair. He's doing a fantastic job for Team Germany on the back of Jerry Van Bussel. And all the likes of the NLR Nuth will be watching this, I'm sure, supporting their fellow compadres and looking to try and will him on. But he's got the Austrian of Julian Kaffenbach there in behind. He's going to look maybe for the move in towards turn 1. Somebody that is, there was Enzo right on the back of Thomas Laminen. Not going to try and get that move laminated for the man in 5th position. That is a terrible pun. That's the first one of the new year, and that is already bad. Daniele Parodi leading the way. Daniel Kelton there in 2nd, then Bogdan Moldovan in 3rd. Endo Soom, though, right on the back of Thomas Laminen. And I really hope that he does get this move laminated.
And I can't lie, I wish Discord did disconnect over that pun because I didn't need to hear that.
You didn't need to hear it once, let alone twice.
I know. But I was saying about Jack Harrington. What's called getting the overtake down on Fabian down in P17 now. So Jack making overtakes happen, which is very, very good to see. Obviously, with 3 hours practice and no assists.
Yeah, very, very good to see indeed. And obviously there in 17th, he's ahead of Primoz, who was a washed League of Europe Division 1 driver back in the day, going by the name of Cookie Games, and he's there in 18th position. And Fabi Mocksteiner is no slouch either. He's there in 19th, doing a good job. Rising Lions man, of course. They are going to be looking to try and get into Esports Masters League for Season 6. If you didn't catch the launch show, go and watch that back. Me and Mike features as part of that as well. But Daniel Kelton doesn't care about the launch show. He wants to move for the race lead on the back of Daniela Parodi to the inside line. Gets the job done, and he's Foonies into the lead.
Yeah, you could say he launched a charge into the lead of the race right there. And there's my first awful pun of the year.
I don't get that.
I mean, launch. Launch, you just said launch. Here we go.
I do not get that. Chat, please back me up on that one, that you do not know what Mike was going on about with that pun. I'll wait. I will wait.
I'm back.
Oh, goodness me. But yeah, Daniel Kelton leading the way. Daniel Parodi 2nd, Bogdan Moldovan there in 3rd. My favourite double-named avatar, by the way, is there in the chat. Good evening to you. Hope you're doing well as Matteo is side by side with King Goydendorp. Down through Covered El Serradio in towards Ascari. And there was going to be contact. That was inevitable from the man of Matteo. The Italian has spun, coming through Ascari. That was inevitable. The way he positioned his car and the way that Keane was forcing him pretty much with no room to the left-hand side, there was inevitability to be contact there. That is definitely going to the stewards.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a bit of contact there between Jerry and JST there for P7. And that's going to allow Julian to get through and potentially make a charge for P7 here as Jerry is...
No way!
This would be brilliant if he could pull it off. And somehow he still keeps in a straight line.
Oh, my.
Oh, contact with Jerry. And Jerry's around.
That's what happens when you try and go for a move on the grass of all places down in towards turn number 1. That is what happens, unfortunately for him. He's 7th though, and I don't know how. Thomas Laminen and Bogdan Moldovan though, they're having a big fight. Enzo Soom gets through on there and says Sue to the man there in P5 right now. Thomas Laminen, Keane Goydendorp there in 6th, Julian Klaffenbach there in 7th. But Daniele Parodi leading the way. Daniel Kelton there in 2nd. Bogdan Moldovan in 3rd. For the first time, I think I can say in this race, it's calming down slightly, even though I've just seen Jack Harrington spin coming out of Lesmo 1.
It's unfortunate for Jack there down at the back now, but...
Sounds like Mike has gone again, so I will take over at this point. The joys of Discord, of disconnecting and everything. Keane Goydendorp on the back of Thomas Laminen, 6th position for him. The sort of whole compound tyres are beginning to try and come into play right now. He has got the better tyres towards the end of the race. This is definitely going to be seen out on track for him. But here comes Daniel on the back of Daniele towards turn number 1. The Veloce Academy man against the Team Italian man. And it is Daniel Kelton there who hits the front once again. There's somebody gone straight on to turn number 1. And that is Thomas Laminen who locks up the brakes through turn number 1. Just about rejoins in front. This is getting very much elbows out from Thomas Laminen. Needs to try and let a gap go through. JST now through, and Thomas Laminen I think should just sit and wait there in 8th position. But that was, I think, him just too late on the brakes in towards turn number 1.
Yeah, just a little bit hot and heavy there for Thomas Laminen going into turn number 1. And he does lose a couple of positions for his troubles. So, it's a big snap up ahead from Kian and Julian there.
Yeah, Julian got away with it. So did Kian, but both of them have lost 0.2 of a second because of it. And now JSD is right on all the back of them. And Sapala all over the back of Havmek. Could be a Scandinavian sort of battle this between the three of them. Thomas Lamnen from Finland, Nahavnik from Norway, and then Sapala from Finland as well. They're both neighbours when it comes to the geography of things. They're neighbours out on track as well. Sapala, though, with that 3-second penalty overhanging him, going to be putting him back on the back foot as we go into lap 17. It's definitely going to put him on the back foot now. See, Needy has a spin coming through Curva Grande there at Curva Grande. Coming through Parabolica there at turn number 11. It's easy to get your corner names mixed up. JSD on the back of Thomas Laminen, trying to get the job done. Not going to lunge one from that far back, surely. As somebody is in the background, that is Jone Dovzan and Mark Schluter to the inside line, trying to get the job done. Still can't. Daniele Parodi leads. Daniel Kelton second. Bogdan Moldovan in third. This race is absolute chaos.
Yeah, and we're starting to get to the point now where these guys on the hard tyres, they're going to start equalising the pace with the mediums around them. And by the end of the race, it should definitely be the faster tyre.
It should definitely be the faster tyre towards the end of the race. And this is definitely not going to be over and done with just yet. And hopefully we're going to see some really good action out on track. Apparently as well, Jarno Opmeer has rated some man there down in 17th position, Fabian Marksteiner. So if you are one of Jarno's viewers and Fabian's viewers, and you're tuning into the YouTube stream right now, hello, good evening, it's been a while. Daniele Parodi leads the way, Daniel Kelton in second, Bogdan Moldovan in third, and Enzel Soom there in fourth position. And Avatar mentioned in the chat, crazy overtaking a penalty. Yeah, I think I agree with that one, to be honest. But, of course, leave it to the stewards. Stewards might have a different opinion on things. But Enzel Soom there on the back of Bogdan Moldovan, the Frenchman, on the back of the on the back of the Romanian, in towards turn number 1. And he's looking to try and get the job done. He's lunging from that far back. Daniel Ricciardo, Honey Badger-esque from the Frenchman, not going to get the job done. Surely he might get the switch back, but he doesn't. And Bogdan Moldovan from Romania, they're in third still.
Yeah, but Enzo really threatening Bogdan Moldovan now, and that'll just make Bogdan think a little bit twice now about the car behind him.
And to be honest as well, Mike, looking at how Jone Dovzan, Primoz Roglic are getting on, they've gained positions, of course, from being down at the back end of the field. Of course, Kieran Humphreys, the other one, who had a qualifying ban, I believe, along with the two Team Slovenian drivers. They're doing quite well. Jone Dovzan in 11th, doing a phenomenal job. Primoz in 15th, he's a bit against the wash, to be honest, there, down in 15th. Both Slovenian drivers are doing a good job, and they have at least gained positions from where they started from.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course, Jerry Van
Bussel.
Absolutely butchered the name. Yeah, Jerry Van Bussel in the mix in that as well, with Louis Valentine trying to recover after their early spins as well. So I mean, they're in there with good company right now.
Yeah, definitely in good company. Enzo's going to be in good company on the back of Bogdan Moldovan, as is Julian on the back of Kian, potentially in towards turn number 1. We'll see what Julian can do on the back of Kian. I think everything has just settled down somewhat. Mark Schluter's got the move done on Louis Valentine. His first race on PC after that contact, definitely a little bit disappointing. Jerry Van Bussel, though, side by side with Primoz, or was side by side with Primoz. Primoz now through, and he's into 14th position. Jerry Van Bussel there down in 15th. Lap 19 out of 27. About to hit George Morgan, Jack Canan-esque time here in Italy. Hopefully it doesn't happen in terms of the lag and in terms of the desync that they had, of course, in PSGL PCF1 back in the day. But Daniele Parodi leads, Daniel Kelton in second, and it's been, honestly, between these two throughout. And they have looked absolutely on par with one another. It's only now, I think, Mike, that we're seeing Daniele for Team Italy beginning to pull away from the Veloce Academy, man.
Yeah, but we've also got to look and take into consideration the ERS usage between them, as well as Daniel Kelton currently sat on 95%.
He's on 92%, coming out of Ascari. A little bit of potential issues, though, with the spectate in terms of the ERS. I know it is a little bit off compared to what the drivers normally experience, so take that figure very, very lightly indeed. But regardless, Daniel has got more than Daniele at this stage. Lap 20 out of 27. Getting towards squeaky bum time. Daniele leading the way from Daniel Kilton in second. Bogdan Moldovan in third, and Enzel Soom there in fourth. Looking for a move further down the field is Sapala on the back of Havik, 9th and 10th position. Norway against Finland, and we like to see how these guys get on in the ice hockey, but we also like to see how they get on in terms of sim racing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And lap 20, everything's staying as it is. down the start-finish straight. No overtakes really going on there. As Thomas Lamanen on the back of Julian for P6, getting very close into the De La Rocha chicane, but unable to find a move thus far.
Yeah, unable to find a move. Are we going to see, though, a move from him running down the straight, perhaps on the back in towards the Curva del Serralio, and then on the run down in towards Ascari? He's there in fourth, doing a good job is Enzo on the back of Bogdan, but everything now beginning to get a little bit tight, a little bit nippy potentially in terms of the racing out on track. I really hope you are enjoying things, by the way. If you are, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel. You can also follow us on Twitter at EML_F1. All of the descriptions, including our Twitters, I believe, are now in the description of this very video. So you can go and follow us on Twitter if you want to tell us how great of a job we've done despite the Discord issues. As Julian on the back of Ian looks to the back of him in towards turn 1. Thomas Lamanen, though, going side by side. Could be 3 wide into turn 1. Daniel Kelton, though, gets the race lead. Enzo on the inside line of Bogdan. There's a spinner, and that's Sapala going straight on, I think, at turn number 1. Sapala straight on at turn number 1. Not sure what happened there. The camera angle didn't catch that, but Daniel leads the way. Daniele second, Bogdan Moldovan there in third. Sapala, I think, just a case of, again, like Thomas a couple of laps ago, just too late on the brakes.
Yeah, maybe just getting a little bit outsighted with the cars braking in front, and maybe not anticipating how much to slow down, and big mistake there from Sapala. Back down in 13th now with that 3-second time penalty. Not going Sapala's way.
Not going for Sapala's way. Somebody that might go his way, though, is Mark Schroeter, right on the back there of Jörne Dovzan, 10th and 11th position currently for them. German doing a good job. Remember, in terms of the position gains, Jörne has gained 10 positions from this start. 8 positions gained for GST, 7 for Julian, 7 for Bogdan, 5 for Thomas Lamanen as well, and there he goes on the back of Havmik. Maybe looking at a slight chance move there and towards Parabolica, but he's not getting the job done from that far back. Again, Daniele Parodi, though, is going to come storming at Daniel Kelton for the race lead. There's a spin, and that's a pole around the Parabolica, but Daniele comes to the inside line and gets the race lead once again. Veloce Academy, he's there in second, doing a great job. The Veloce Academy man, though, doing a good job. There in second, again, look, getting a little bit tight in the background. Havmik and Mark, I think that was in the background. But Daniel, right on the back of Daniele, does he hold the key to this race in terms of that ERS saving?
I mean, I definitely think so at the moment. I mean, Daniel Kelton saving his ERS absolutely fantastically. And honestly, I'm looking at this battle right now in the midfield because it's getting slightly elbows out between Julian, JST, Havmik, Mark, and Louis Valentine now joining the party. Yeah,
Louis Valentine, of course, Legacy Division winner in Monaco. I think he was a 2-time winner last season as well in Legacy Division. And while I'm at it, you can catch that on Tuesday night next week with qualifiers if you do want to tune in for that, because I'm going to be on commentary. Mike isn't, unfortunately. I'm going to be alongside Jota, of course, for that. Mr. James Otter himself. But Legacy Division is coming next week, so if you do want to catch that, you can do on the WR channel. And you can also catch me on there as well. Daniele Parodi leading the way, Daniel Colton in second, Bogdan Moldovan there in third. You may as well get a little bit of self-promotion in there once in a while. Daniel, though, on the back of Daniele, now attacking for the race lead, pulls alongside, and now begins the games of tactics as Enzo soon looks the inside of Bogdan Moldovan in towards turn number 1. Daniel, though, didn't want to go to the front. Daniele didn't want to let him get to the front, to be honest. And now we begin, Mike. Potential last 5 laps worth of tactics.
Yeah, now it's a game with DRS Chicken, and Bogdan Moldovan and Enzo are going to be playing a big part of this, as that is full yellows and has a virtual safety car here, lap 23.
Jörne Dovzan, I think that is in strife, coming through Curva Grande. He spun, coming through there, and has he got any wing damage? Let's have a look. He has right side end plate damage on the car, and I'm not sure if anybody else got caught in that. I don't think there's there's a missing front wing for Havmik. Havmik has got no front wing on that car in 11. That's why the VSE's that's why the VSE's been deployed. Otherwise, I was thinking, well, Jörne's got right side end plate damage and there's a VSE for that, but Havmik obviously been involved in that collision as well, as Julian's got a drive-through. There are many drivers that have got a drive-through. Julian being one, Mark being the other, and a 3-second penalty, I think, for Sasha Andre and all of that as well.
Yeah, and Julian was getting all out of shape through a Ascari there, so really getting caught out by the restart there from the VSC and dropping down several positions. A drive-through penalty, that's not going to help him in this race because if he does have to serve it before the end of the race, that is for sure. But if he was able to get to the end, I mean, that would be a 20-second time penalty, which essentially put him down pretty much to the back of the pack.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because he has to serve that now and actually have Mick and Dovdan both in the pit lane. I would just save it next lap, maybe hope for safety call this lap, and then if it doesn't, then you're going to get 1 lap's worth, and then if the safety call comes out, you can't serve the penalty, and therefore they're going to be disqualified from the end of the race. So they've got to come in, I think, this lap just to try and save their blushes, just to try and save themselves in terms of any penalties that come after this race. Daniele Parodi, though, leading the way. Daniel Kelson in second. Bogdan Moldovan third. Enzo Soom there in fourth. Keane Gordon-Dorp there in fifth. And Mike, I'm going to make an absolute wild prediction right now. The man in first and second, Daniele and Daniel, aren't going to be there at the end of the race. I think Keane Gordon-Dorp's got this.
I mean, we're getting into the latter stages now. These hard tyres should definitely be the better tyre to be on. So Keane in a very good spot. But Bogdan bunching up to Daniel Kelson and Daniel Parodi up ahead. And this is going to be very tasty coming down in towards the Retafilio chicane as DRS will be activated once again as we go on to lap 25. And Daniel Kelson, he's backed out. He's not going for it.
Thomas
DRS chicken has begun.
Laminin into the back there of Bogdan in the back of Enzo Soom. Sorry to cut you off there, Mike, but he gets the job done on Keane Gordon-Dorp. How's that one worked out? Thomas Laminin. Looney's into the fifth. Could have easily rear-ended the back there of the Frenchman. The Frenchman, speaking of which, is side by side with Bogdan Moldovan just coming through Curva Grande. They settle themselves out. But Thomas Laminin is now in the pressure from Keane Gordon-Dorp to the inside line. The PCF2 guys are having an absolute wild time out on track. Thomas Laminin, though, how on earth he got that car stopped into turn number 1? And how on earth he got that job done on Keane Gordon-Dorp absolutely befuddles me. There's a bit of lag going on there in the background. I think that might have been from Julian, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully it doesn't cause a few issues. Daniele, though, leads the way. Daniel in second. Bogdan Moldovan in third. And do you know that prediction that I made a lap ago around about this point, Mike? I don't think it's on anymore.
Yeah, that's the quickest prediction taken away. I think that's quicker than people predicting Manchester United to win the Premier League this year. But yeah, that has gone completely out the window. But Enzo on the back of Bogdan Moldovan now for P3. He has been threatening over the past few laps, and is now the time to go for it. Potentially
so. Is it now time to go for bust and then try and get that elbows out? Bogdan Moldovan, though, and Enzo Soom are going to be involved in this as well. Bogdan switches to the outside line on the back of Daniele Parodi. He's going to lose 2 positions for the price of 1. You buy 1, you get 1 free for Bogdan Moldovan. Daniel Kelson there through. Bogdan Moldovan second, but Daniele Parodi is not giving this up without a fight. Enzo Soom right on the back of these guys as well. Beautiful helicopter shot as we come through Curva Grande, and Daniele Parodi gets back at Bogdan Moldovan coming through Curva Grande. Brilliant racing between the both of them, and the Italian comes out on top.
Yeah, the Italian wants to get the race win here at his home Grand Prix, and Daniel Parodi now has 3 more chances of closing back up with DRS now down towards Ascari. We'll close that gap back up on Daniel Kelson, and then we're going to see a cracking final lap, in my opinion.
Hazara, by the way, mentioning in the Discord, in the YouTube comment section, Havmik had a wheel disconnect and he rear-ended somebody apparently. So unfortunately, Havmik with that wheel disconnect, that's where the VSC was deployed. These things happen, but what will happen? We're going to crown a winner here in Italy. Is it going to be a homeboy hero of Daniele Parodi, or is it Daniel Kelton that's going to spoil the party? The final 5.3 kilometres is about to begin, and Daniele Kelton has got now Daniele Parodi run his back pocket, but here comes Daniele Parodi. That overspeed is just so much more inferior to the outside line. Doesn't get the car stopped. He tries to spin the car through turn number 1, but that is it. The Italian is not winning. Daniele Parodi has absolutely fluffed his lines coming through turn number 1, and that is him down into 8th position. That hands the race surely on a play for Daniel Kelton, but the man in second, Mike, Bogdan Moldovan, has got slightly less ERS, but he's got slightly less fuel, so Bogdan Moldovan is going to come at Daniel on this final lap of the race, but it looks like the Norwegian's been handed on a silver platter.
Yeah, absolutely. Daniel Kelton right now in a fantastic position. Obviously, for Bogdan Moldovan, it's going to be all about the run out of Ascari now as we head down in towards Parabolica. But DRS will close back up as Kian gets through
Oh my
on
god!
Thomas Lamanan for P4. And
JST!
look at that, JST's in there.
JST's trying to go around the outside now, and Thomas Laminen, they both force each other off. Oh, the finish man nearly in the wall. And JST, Thomas Laminen's in the wall. He's out of the race. Louis Valentine, great avoiding action there from him. Daniel Kelton, though, handed this race on the plate, coming through the final corner now, Parabolica. He's wide, but he doesn't care. Daniel Kelton now, on the run to the line, wins here in Italy. Bogdan Moldovan second, Enzo Suman third. Enzo would have wanted that straight to be just a little bit longer for him to get second. Keane Gordon up in the end in fourth. JSC and Louis Valentine. How on earth he avoided that, I do not know. Daniele Parodi in seventh in the end. Joe Van Bussel, Primoz Muklavcic and Sasha Andre, the top 10. Out on track. That will change, though. Oh, my word. Matteo is on the run to line. Sasha Andre has got no front wing either coming across the line. And Matteo gets 10. Sasha there in 11. Judy in 12. Mark Schluter there in 13th. My word, what a race. And it is Daniel Kelton out on top. Bogdan Moldovan second. Enzo Soom there in third. But it is Sue for the man from Team Norway who wins.
Yeah, and that's a big result for Team Norway. Obviously, getting the race victory, obviously handed on a silver platter at the end, with the big mistake there from
Daniele Parodi.
Daniel Parodi, yeah. I was looking at the... I got distracted then. I don't know why. I saw something in the corner of my eye and I got distracted.
Terrible. But there we are. But yeah, that race was just phenomenal. I don't know what that was. I hope you enjoyed it, regardless of what that was. But it's Daniel Kelton out on top. And if Daniele Parodi didn't make his own mistake and was not his rolling downfall, I think he would have had that, to be honest. The Italian was on the back. He just went far too late on the brakes. Bastard the late breakers. Didn't want to put him in that position. If I was in his shoes, I would have actually backed off that. Let Daniel go in towards turn 1 ahead. And then try and attack him back into Curva Grande, and then through in toward the Della Chicane, and then once again running down the Curva del Seraglio in towards Ascari. But Daniel Kelton, full credit to the Norwegian, comes out on top. Bogdan Moldovan from 10th on the grid second. Enzo in third. Keane Gordon up in fourth. My driver of the day, though, JST there in fifth. 16th up to fifth. Phenomenal race from him. Louis Valentine on his PC debut in sixth, with Daniel Parodi, Joe Van Bussel, Primoz Muklavcic and Matteo rounding up the top 10. And Sasha Andre, Julian Claffenblock, then Mark Schluter, Sapala and Fabi Mockstar top 15. Havmik, Jone Dobzan, the 17 drivers that finished. Thomas Lamnon in the wall at the end of the race. Jack Harrington in the wall, and Matarin and Silly Sligo there down in 20th position. Mr. Kieran Humphreys himself. Disaster for Team England, joy for Team Norway. However, Mike, I believe, out on top, out of all of that, comes, and I'm just going to reevaluate the results slightly. I think coming out on top of that, somehow, a Team Netherlands and Team France.
Yeah, Team France coming out on top, Enzo P3, and of course Louis Valentine, who is my driver of the day, because after the spin early on was able to recover up to 6th place. So good going there from Louis Valentine, getting a P6. They do close the gap. I'm also having a look to see if anyone else has closed in on Team Netherlands here.
I don't think so. Daniele Parodi 7th in the end for Italy. And they have Matteo down in 10th. So Matteo gaining positions as well, points as well for Team Italy. Not bad at all, I've got to say. But it is France who I think gained the most, as well as Team Netherlands. And I think with some of the driving there from the top end guys, and with some of the battles that we had, there's definitely going to be reports put in. Not going to be over and done with. The best thing you can do, tune in next week in Belgium, albeit at another track which produces a lot of overtaking and a lot of good racing. Belgium next week, Mike. Could be hell on earth, or it could be one of the races of the season.
Yeah, and there's only one way to find out, and that's, of course, to tune in next week for round number 4 in this championship.
Definitely. So Avatar, by the way, mentioned in the chat, if you want to see a gladiator fight, watch the competition EEC. Definitely watch the Gladiator fights here in EEC, even though Gladiators is returning here on the BBC in, 10 days' time. Back to my childhood, I think, with Gladiators coming back. But we have our own Gladiators and our own nations fighting out for supremacy. And it looks like Team Netherlands will hold the lead going into the final 2 rounds of the EEC, the European Esports Championship. Then we're back at home for Silverstone, at least for one of us, we're back at home for Silverstone, 17th of January. We are going to wrap it up here. Thank you for sticking with us, first and foremost. Thank you for bearing with the Discord issues that we had. Hopefully it wasn't that noticeable. Hopefully I didn't jump over Mike too much, but hopefully everything was good, and hopefully we got a very good race in the end, which indeed we did. We're going to end it off here, though. Big thank you to our sponsors, Next Level Racing, and indeed Rising Lines, who provided me with this lovely hat, which I'm not going to put on for the sake of the stream, because it won't fit over my canister head on the stream with this headset on. But you can have a look at the Rising Lines merchandise at risinglines.com, if I'm not mistaken, for your merchandise needs. And a big thank you, because that was part of my Christmas package as well. So a big thank you to Rising Lines for providing me with that. Anyways, we're going to end off here. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.
Bye.